Hey, federal employees. It's about 7:45 a.m. Eastern, January 29, 2026, and I need to give you a real shutdown update. So yesterday it looked like there was basically no path to avoid a shutdown. This morning, though, for the first time, we have a credible off-ramp, not a guarantee, but an actual path. Here's the latest. So overnight, reporting indicates that President Trump and Senator Chuck Schumer moved toward a possible deal to avert a shutdown by doing something very specific: split DHS out of the six-bill package. We've been following this as one of the options. Then they'll pass the other five bills under this deal to keep most of the government funded. Then use a short-term extension for DHS so essential DHS operations don't suddenly stop, and negotiate new limits on immigration enforcement tactics during that window. If that plan holds, it matters for two reasons. First, it could prevent an immediate interruption of services that people actually feel: TSA, the Coast Guard, FEMA, and it keeps a much larger set of agencies from falling into shutdown status this weekend. Second, it's the first sign that this might shift from a pure shutdown cliff into a two-track negotiation. Keep government running while Congress and the White House fight out the DHS restrictions separately. Now, here's what Democrats are demanding, and this part is important. They're pushing for enforceable guardrails, things like no masks, body cameras, and limits on random sweeps, warrantless searches, and warrantless arrests, plus more accountability when excessive force is alleged. And I want you to notice what's happening here. The shutdown fight is now less about funding government in the abstract and more about whether those guardrails are real and enforceable. Now, I'm going to give you the practical takeaway of what I'm thinking because I think that's what you need. One, please don't assume the shutdown is off. The agreement is not finalized, and there are multiple hurdles, including what happens with a test vote expected this morning and whether Congress can move the pieces fast enough before Friday midnight, and things might completely change. So now I think we will see. Two, if this deal goes through, it doesn't mean the DHS conflict disappears. It means it moves into a separate negotiation. That matters for federal employees because it reduces the blast radius of an immediate shutdown, but it does not end the underlying fight. Three, watch for one thing today. Do we see actual legislative text and a clear procedural plan? Meaning, here's how the Senate splits the bills, here's the DHS stopgap vehicle, and here's the timeline. If you see that, the odds of avoiding a shutdown are going to rise materially. If this turns out to be nothing, you won't see those things likely. And finally, for those of you asking what's real here, well, it's real enough that Senator Susan Collins publicly said that the White House and Senate are making progress to avoid a shutdown. So yes, this morning we have some hope, but we still don't know, and we should still be cautious. In any event, until the votes happen and the paperwork is real, a plan like the deadline still matters. We'll keep tracking this in real time and translating it into what it means for your paycheck, your status, and your rights. Please stay with us. Thank you, everybody, for your support. Take care and have a great day.